I am a big fan of Bethesda Game Studios and the games that they create. I still label The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion as one of my favorite games of all time. It is, actually, I believe it is my favorite game of all time. And on top of that, a lot of my formative memories of games came from Bethesda. And that would be Oblivion, the just sheer freedom back in 2006, 2007. I remember my brother rented it because he had played it at a friend's house. And I started playing it. And in my first few hours as literally a 10-year-old, I remember running up to my brother's room and being like, this is unbelievable. I can't believe I can do the things I'm doing in this game. And that feeling carried on in Fallout 3, where Fallout 3, I find it so memorable. Everyone does the Megaton storyline with the bomb and Tenpenny Tower, and that is just such a core memory. Another case of renting it. I was sleeping over at a friend's house, told his mom I was allowed to play it. I probably wasn't allowed to play it, I guess. I mean, Fallout is very different from Elder Scrolls, much more violent. And we played it all night, and I just remember it so well. I immediately went and bought it. I never told my parents what it was. They obviously eventually found out, but it was okay. I'm okay. I survived. And I just look at this studio that created these truly formative experiences for me. They created my gaming taste, essentially. So my early impressions, I've had over 10 hours with Starfield, and I am someone that is able to be forgiving of what I'm playing. I understand a lot of the critiques. I understand that you can call it fast travel the game or whatever. I've gotten over that. I got over that about 3 or 4 hours in of, okay, well, I'm going to be traveling to all these planets. Let me just accept that and enjoy everything around it. I am currently enjoying everything around it. I also acknowledge a lot of the quality of life critiques. I almost find it impressive how bad the map is. The map is actually unusable. I was listening to the Kind of Funny review, and Blessing Adeoye was saying just how bad it was. I was listening to it before I had my hands on the game, thinking yeah, well, these things don't really matter to me. UI is part of a game, but I can get over bad UI. And while I stand by that, this map is just brutal. It's impressively bad. So I lead with the fact that I am very much enjoying Starfield. I want to just get back to playing it right now. But there is one thing that stood out to me. I'm a major advocate for these games being as RPG as possible. And that is something that specifically Bethesda Game Studios kind of goes back and forth on. Thought Oblivion was a great RPG. Thought Fallout 3 was also a great RPG. In Skyrim, you get a little less RPG. You get a little more action. Fallout 4, you get borderline no RPG, and it's all action. I think that Starfield has gone more back in the direction of being an RPG, but it's not 100% there. And where I most see it is in Bethesda games whenever there is an important person to a quest. Specifically in Bethesda Game Studios, you cannot kill that person. I'm not someone that always wants to be a murderous freak in these games, but I like to know that I have the option. And that option hangs over all Bethesda Game Studios games like a shadow. It's not the fact that you can't kill everyone that actually hangs over it, it's what it stands for. And what that stands for is Fallout New Vegas, a game that truly does loom over all Bethesda Game Studios games. I really believe that Fallout New Vegas, even though there's been rumors New Vegas 2 could happen, Obsidian, Bethesda, they're both under Xbox, I believe there is no way that can ever happen again. There simply must be too many egos involved. I don't think Bethesda Game Studios ever wants to give up the reins to Fallout again, because what happened the last time they did it is that now so many of us look back at New Vegas and think well, that was the best one. That was the best RPG. You could kill anyone in the game and there would always be a workaround. It didn't matter if they were crucial to a quest. In fact, it could be a major part of your storyline that person has died. Obsidian has always been more of an advocate for what I think is seen as old school Fallout, the pure RPG, the pure basically make your own adventure. And I love New Vegas in the way they have a choice-driven story based on such a simple concept of pretty much choosing your political alignment. That's all it is. All of the factions that can end up on top at the end is just somewhere on the political compass. I love New Vegas for everything it does for RPGs, and I've let myself think like, oh man, I just wish Bethesda Game Studios could either get on their level or get on a level that they used to be at. And I think what I have come to accept more, especially with Starfield as I'm enjoying it, is that Bethesda Game Studios is a studio that wants to tell its own stories. It wants you to be a part of the simulation, to be a part of the RPG of it, but it has a main quest and it has these characters that they made, and they want you to see those characters. And while that doesn't technically lead to the best RPG experience, I think that's okay. I'm enjoying everything I'm playing so far in Starfield right now, and you can listen to the BNY Gaming podcast linked below to hear more on my thoughts on the game as I get further into it.